Lacrosse team. Hold on.
I know.
Yeah, we had our first game yesterday. We lost 10-9. Defense fell apart, and I'm in charge of the defense, so it was not a good day. We were up 10-6 going into the third, and defense just fell apart. I don't know if you know lacrosse or not, but it's kind of like it's like basketball, soccer, hockey. Just doing 3-3 zones. Zones just fell apart. They started chasing man, found alleys, and it was just passing to goal.
I remember we were getting fruit trees at
We weren't catching the slides, and it was not. Yeah, that's what I told them. I said, guys, it's only your first game. It wasn't a district game, so it doesn't really matter.
Just the presentation.
And sure enough, there's a tree right before Easter.
My grandmother, she had a city lot in Chicago that was her garden, okay?
We signed back there.
Really?
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Just
Figure that'll work.
send that the other way.
No, they had a special one up there.
Want to start the merry-go-round? Sure. Exactly. You hit them first. Somebody with a
Mine hit me about 5 years ago.
Somebody else is sitting there. That must be our.
Just like 4 or 5 more. Just like, thank you.
Oh, look at the chairs we have. Wow.
We're fancy now, Joe.
My odd little ass can sit in comfort.
It's true. You can.
It's funny when I know, I heard.
Hi, Jennifer. I'm Joe Saunders.
Yes.
Look at that. I'm very good, thank you. And you?
Good. The temperature is above my age, just where I like it.
Temperature's above your age. It's below my age.
We need to get up.
Way below my age. Mr. Johnson, how are you?
What are you doing, called to order Minneola City Council Workshop Meeting. At this time, we'll rise for a moment of silence. Pledge, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If council doesn't object, I'm going to pass the gavel to Eric. To let him run the meeting since it's kind of his deal. So, you mind?
100% I do. Yeah. But I think I'm just been voluntold. So. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Of course, this is a long time coming. So I know we've had a lot of discussions here with different folks, and I'm glad everything's kind of finally getting shaped. We're still going to get a shovel in the ground. It's exciting. As most of you know, I think all of you should know, the goal is to have this completed before our centennial celebration, which is this year. We would like to have it complete the weekend before Thanksgiving is the goal. We want that to be 100%, project complete. That way we can start getting preparations for our centennial, Minneola centennial. So you guys, whether you like it or not, are a big part of that, and no pressure, but it all relies on you guys. So we've really got to get this done. So appreciate you guys really coming out and putting your best foot forward and get started. So that being said, you guys will do some intros and we'll get into your presentation.
Chris McGill, President, Southeast Region. Doug Burns, Director of Construction, Southeast.
Andrew Goulish, COO with Civil on Demand.
Ryan Flanagan, civil engineer with SCG.
Daniel McSwain, Business Development, SCG Fields.
Blake Staten, VP Operations, SCG Fields. Sean Perrin, Construction Manager, SCG Fields.
I guess. So, thanks. Oh, so Joe, go ahead.
Joe Saunders, seat number 5.
Eric Hernandez, seat number 4, City Council.
Pat Kelly, seat number 3.
Debbie Flynn,
Pam Service, C1.
I'm Jennifer Cotton, City Attorney.
Mark Johnson, Minneola.
Christine Thompson, City Clerk.
So I think you guys have a presentation to show us, so if you guys want to start on that.
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you. I don't mean to talk to anybody that's behind me, but essentially we have a full team here representing SCG Fields, project management, construction manager, design components, and obviously business development as well. So we wanted to make sure that as many people could be here to answer questions that are coming up. We'll go through very conceptual design, the initial conceptual design. And really it's to listen to, you know, the public's opinion and comments on what you would like this to eventually look like.
Clicker's right there.
So the project scope, we're gonna start with design and engineering.
It's the same thing back there as what's on here.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
So there are two main components for community engagement. So this is going to be the first. We'll host a second one in March. And the design and engineering component is going to be a crucial part of not only the construction portion.
March, no, it's March. Yeah, that was my mistake. It's March 24th.
March 24th. 24th. And so at that point, we would have design component at approximately 60%.
For next March? Correct. Okay.
Then we'll go into site preparation and development, which you've actually, if you've been out to the park, we have surveys, locates that have already happened in the last week or so. So we're in the process of gathering information. All right. Then we'll go into site work and hardscape. We have a preliminary schedule at the end of the slide that we can talk about, but our hope is to present it, or to actually function in 2 different phases. So phase 1 would be any of the components that we can begin without permitting, right, so that we can get that as quick as possible. And then phase 2 would be all the permitting factors, right? So we want to start as soon as possible to meet the completion of that. Landscaping, irrigation is a component, site furnishings and amenities, and then the playground area. So that's full project scope. So the initial conceptual design and site plan, I'm going to let our design team kind of discuss what components are there, and then
Yeah, so this was a preliminary site plan that was developed between the city at some of the earlier stages of the planning. Some of the main features are expanded parking lot with potential access to Old Highway 50, 6 pickleball courts, resurfacing a basketball court. It's tough to see the numbers up there, but you got the pickleball and basketball down in the southwest corner near the skate park. New and improved playground in that area, refurbishing, new sod, new dirt, new clay for the baseball field, new gravel path around the lake, and then also planning on some remediation of that lake with a proposed pier. Those are the main features. Oh, and then I don't want to forget the sand pickup area as well, as I'm sure will be a topic of conversation.
The new playground.
Yep, and the new playground over by the basketball court, yep.
Mr. Hernandez, I'm looking at, I'm guessing ahead, the skateboard park. Is there anything to be done to the skateboard park at this point in time?
Well, we were talking about adding additional lights, and that was gonna be part of it in order to try to illuminate both the skateboard park and the pickleball courts as well.
Yeah, something else I'd like to incorporate in it, and it's just on where the bowl is, there's some erosion issues going down there. When they're doing dirt or moving dirt, is there any way to kind of either re-dirt it back up and do something there's some erosion issues at the bowl. It's 3 years old, it wasn't really packed in that much originally, so I don't know what the solve is, but if it's pack it back up with dirt and redo it 3 more years, and that's it, but there is some erosion issues. And I just, before it runs out too much and the part breaks or something, but it's just kind of at that iffy stage just to address it, if you don't mind. But I don't have a solve, it just needs.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys.
Whatever you think is a solve for it, as you're doing landscaping and moving around, what can you do there just to secure that piece?
And we were adding some seated gabing walls alongside the one bowl
I
that
saw
looks towards the basketball court, so I
saw
think
that on the
during
next-
that process,
I
we could
saw that on
probably.
that picture, trying to figure out what that was.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, if you go to the next page, it's got kind of an
Right
enlarged,
under 15.
yeah, but there's an enlarged area, I'm not sure what page you're looking at.
Yeah, the next area has it enlarged.
The active one, so next one, yeah, right here.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the 15, I saw something there, I didn't know if you were doing steps or, so you are putting something there. Yeah, that's fine. It's just around the other two, just to make sure. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm done.
Good, here, we talked about each component here, right? Here's the ground plane overlay.
What's the ground?
Actually, can we go back to one slide really quick? Yeah, let's go back. So let's stay here a little bit on this. So, could you just really quick, and you guys from a high level, just explain, 1 through 18, kind of what we're looking at here, that way the public and the rest of council kind of sees that a little bit more in detail.
So if you actually go to, one of the sheets in the presentation had some of the playground features that will be there. We do not have, Game Time is the company doing the playground. We don't have a representative of theirs here. They could better explain each of the pieces of equipment. I'm not well versed on the actual playground equipment myself. But 1 through 9 essentially is all your playground features, the different the different ground you're gonna have. There's gonna be the poured in place rubber in some areas, and then there's gonna be engineered wood mulch. The brown areas would be we're not on the plan anymore. But the brown areas on there would be your engineered mulch. And then the green areas would be the rubber, like flooring that's kind of out there, in the existing condition.
Are you leasing the canopies? Is that there now?
Yeah, that was gonna ask, so we have an existing canopy, as you guys saw, is that something that, I'm assuming that's gonna stay in place? Or can we expand on that in order to cover more area?
Is that 16 that's over like the workout equipment, or?
No, you have another one over the playground.
Yeah, there's one over the playground itself. Currently, yeah.
Yeah.
That we did not intend to keep in place because of the
That's-
height of the playground, but you're,
I'm just saying, we've got $70,000 in, how much was that, Mark? Lisa got it.
In which part?
Over the playground.
The playground.
The footers on that alone are 8 by 8 Hurricane. I mean, it was,
Yeah, those were,
Scooter didn't go out there with a backhoe and put a 6 by 6 in the ground.
Those could probably be salvaged, meaning we can,
If you could,
with our engineering, we can see if those can either be extended or double check the height of the new playground that's coming in to make sure it'll fit.
It'll fit?
I could see how you'd want to keep those. They are.
I
in
mean,
good
that's
condition.
just a total.
Yeah, we can look into that. Jeffrey, you had a question?
I was just gonna say, the original intent for the 1 to 5 area right there was to keep the canopy in place. Those are strategically planned to be recommended canopy. The tower system for the 5+ doesn't have a canopy because the towers itself create the shade. And then a lot of the area that's in the shade is already covered by trees in the back sensory area.
Okay.
So the intent originally was to keep the canopy because it is,
All right, so you're saying if you go to the next, all right, so perfect. So the canopy will go over, slide this, the top right and the bottom left, but then the tower structure itself, that will stay as is, exposed to the sun because of the inherent cover it already has, correct? Okay.
When we go to demolish that, we'd like to, that playground is around 10 years old. We want to pull that out, and maybe the company that installed it would work with it on us, work on it with us, and then have it moved to a different park over at Lakewood Ridge. That one's a lot older. This one hasn't even reached, it's half its useful life, so we want to redeploy that to area that needs it.
Move it on there. So relocate existing playground to,
Yeah, don't rip it out and tear it up. Just
What was the name of the other park you said?
Lakewood Ridge Park. It's over off Division Street behind Publix. That's where you're at, Dave?
Yes.
Do y'all have equipment there, or is it just we're just recycling too? Yeah, that park needs some attention, so we can relocate that. It'll be a big improvement for that park.
we'll go take a look at it. Is there an existing footprint for the playground that then we'll remove from Lakewood? Or
Yeah, that playground can get chunked, the one at Lakewood Ridge.
and then kind of replace it in the same footprint from Trailhead? Okay.
Mark, can we work with the original vendor who put that in, see if they can either repaint it or revitalize it?
Sure.
All right, so going back to the canopy and the cover, I guess you guys will go back to Playworks, or Game Time.
Game
and-
time and coordinate.
And
to where we
coordinate
have-
placement of where it is. All right, sticking with the playground before we go anywhere else. Council, public, any other questions on the playground itself?
Are we allowed to have questions, or we save our questions?
Yeah.
So
Did you have a question, or was that a?
the question is, Jennifer said right over here is where the oak trees are.
Mhm.
We're not gonna take any oak trees down. Okay, that's a good answer, right answer, very good.
Trees are staying.
They're all coming off, Cheryl. It's gonna be one over the play.
And then, can you explain what a ground plane?
We're not there yet, Cheryl. We're still on this.
You're behind. You're already a slide ahead.
No, that was just for reference. We're gonna go back.
I do have a question, though. The trike path, is that now going to be just the sidewalk around there, or are we having a separate area for a trike path?
I don't think that made it to this for
Because you still
budget.
have a lot of space over, like, the triangle of 11 and 13. I don't know what 13 is. For,
That's the bike trail directory. So there were ideas, Jennifer, that we can, once this is done, then we'll have like a phase 2 approach to it, so that we can look and see on that. Again, it just came back to that if we added more and more things, then it would just, more and more. So this was what I thought would be a high priority to get done, and then the trike can then be pushed
But
out.
from a design, while we're going through design, so the hope would be at some point have a trike path around the playground area.
yes.
Okay, then,
Can
I mean, while we're doing the design, we can incorporate that into it.
Can I share with him via email the original?
Sure.
design, just so he
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see?
I think I could share it with you. I still have it too, so, yeah.
How wide are those concrete paths?
For, on a trike path?
Like the orange?
No, I just think, Debbie, that it's very faint. It's just, it's a
Oh, the
concrete
si-
path
the
that goes
sidewalks?
around.
Yeah, how wide are those sidewalks gonna be? Just curious.
Probably match existing, but probably typically like probably 6 feet, I would guess.
Yeah.
So we're gonna look at the trike path, we're gonna look at the conceptual design previously, try to incorporate that into our design. We're gonna keep the canopies in place, position the playground as best we can, position the playground equipment, the new playground equipment around or under those canopies, right? Any other questions on the playground? Anything that anybody would wanna see?
Just, I know, it's hard to tell from the active area enlargement to here, but I know one of the concerns was the ADA access for disabled children. And I'm not the expert on that. She couldn't make it today because she's in Tallahassee, but just want to make sure that on the one where the parking is, that there's access to the ADA area, and that there is a way to get a wheelchair.
Cheryl, if you look at the overlay between the active enlargement piece and the ground plane overlay, you can see it's all orange, which is concrete, 6 foot wide, so there is a rollable.
Now we can talk about that.
Yeah. So there is an orange piece there, so you can
Okay.
so you can get something there.
So you'll have, from this plan, so there's an oak tree that is, it's not quite at the end of the far east side of the parking lot where the parking lot currently finishes up. There's an oak tree, and you'll see the orange half moon shape that's coming around it. So that's for ADA accessibility, right, coming from the parking lot. But then the orange plan is a sidewalk that goes all the way around over to the current dog park.
Okay.
And then we'll extend, there's an existing, it's asphalt. There's an existing asphalt sidewalk that goes around the playground, in between the playground basketball court, and then goes down to the proposed pickleball area. So yes, it will all be ADA accessible. And then I've heard sensory, so sensory components to the playground is important.
Mark, when you look at the gravel trail, since that's going through wetlands, is there a problem with that, or is that gonna be, do we have to get that clear, do St. John's or anything?
We are trying to work with St. John's. We don't have an answer for that, but,
The gravel path is, I believe, is 25 feet outside the wetland delineation. So part of the survey, we are having the wetland delineated, so we'll know the boundaries of that.
So the wetland doesn't continue on, so the wetland
The wetland's within.
is here, so this
Yep.
is on the out, so the wetlands is here, wetlands doesn't come this way.
Correct.
With that said,
looks like it's in.
topography is gonna be all gravel, there's not gonna be really, until you get into it, you know that there's gonna be some type of wooden bridge elevation to keep it level, or is it gonna be a hill, or is that something that we kind of figure out as we go?
From a topography standpoint, once we get we really don't know until we get the survey back.
Yeah, because that could get pricey if you do. Because what you don't want is, the wetlands to have a hurricane come through and the water flood over there.
Right.
Kind of like that, so you'd have to raise it up, but it's just, I'm not saying it's a deal breaker, but you probably should just look at that
Yep.
originally, and if it's a,
It looks like part of it does go through the wetlands, so.
yeah, we'll figure it out, it's just something that, once we get everything laid out.
We'll look at that. Going back again to the active area, now one thing that we did discuss before is the lighting option for the pickleball courts. And I know, Mayor, you also wanted, if we are gonna do lighting, to also do it for the skateboard park?
If you could do for the skateboard park, that would be great, but are we not, and it's not ours, but trail, are we holding off lighting on the trail till somebody develops that parcel?
We added that in at the last minute with their quotes, I believe, is trail lighting as well. I don't remember what the price, quote was for that, but we asked them to put that in.
Okay, that's just fine.
Is there something y'all can add in or?
Yeah, again, it's gonna be, there's a couple pieces of once you,
Right.
Yeah, if you're gonna light pickleball and you're gonna light skate park, you might as well, you need lighting on the trail to get there.
when we're talking the trail, we're talking,
But the trail that
no, we're talking the trail that is the trail that's up at Harvey Station. At Harvey Station is lit all the way from Lake Hiawatha till you get into Minneola at Harvey Station. It's lit and it's wooded, and then it goes dark. And so if you're having a lot of people come here, it's gonna be a safety concern at night, because it gets pretty dark on the trail, to light it till it opens back up. And what is that road, Debbie?
What are you talking?
The road when it comes out of your neighborhood?
Oh, Forestwood
Forestwood. So basically it'd be,
Down to Mohawk,
huh?
or
all
Mohawk?
the way down to Mohawk.
Well, I don't think Mohawk is Mohawk is pretty open. I'm just concerned about the part that's in the wood.
Forestwood is dark.
Yeah,
Just a
so the
tree
place
area.
between Ed Harvey and Forestwood is, you can go back there and see.
This trail is outside the park that needs to be lit too to connect? I'm kind of not following that.
Yeah, I think there was some confusion when you said the trail needs to get lit. Y'all were looking at the trailhead going from the skateboard park up to Ed Harvey. This is actually the trail itself.
The South Lake Trail,
That's what it's.
there used to be a railroad tracks.
Yeah, so it shows up on the overall site plan here.
Where does it show up?
On the overall site plan. It's down here. This trail's where it's going.
So it's lit to like here.
Yeah, we walked by that today.
It's lit to about here, and then it's dark between here to here. So. That's.
Is there a portion where it picks back up, like lighting or,
No, once you get past here, it's pretty well all open.
okay,
It's
but it's just this portion, this
It's just starting
section?
here, so if you had anybody coming, if you're looking at people from Eric's neighborhood or coming the trail here, if you're trying to get to the park.
Sure.
It's a safety factor to go from here to here with it being unlit.
Okay, and they have access, I mean, the 2 points of it, we saw a bunch where the kids or maybe adults as well, are riding their bikes down, but the
Yeah.
two main points of access are this little pavilion here and then this access right here, right?
It would be, it'd probably be station, yeah, no, so basically you live from here to here, so
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, there are 2 poles existing, I don't remember, I don't think I
It
saw a
stopped,
third.
and I don't know what the reason of it, Mark, was it another Duke or I don't know what happened. It's been something we've been working on, and we actually had a developer who was gonna develop, this piece of property was gonna do it, but if you're trying to get the part more active, you just need to make it,
Yep,
safety
agreed.
is important. So it's just something that you just need to look at.
You want
Again-
overhead lights or bollard lights that light the trail but not overhead?
Right.
Just like the foot, which one,
That-
y'all
I don't-
figured out later? or-
Just whatever safety is, I don't care, I just, light is light.
Yeah, agreed. So I think if we want to add that and also the expansion of the lighted area to the pickleball courts, the skate park, and again, I'm assuming because we're doing the skate park, the basketball court, it's might as well just do that too.
Because on the skateboard park, Eric, which is known from my experience, if you light on this side, you don't really need one power here, you can just run it all off of one side if you had to. Skaters aren't that particular about lighting, they just need some light.
To look at it.
We'll do photometrics, I mean, again, when we get through the lighting design portion, they'll run photometrics, they'll show us where the light will, and that'll be a part of the next presentation, right? We'll actually see what the footprint and light would be, that'll show all of it.
I think in the concept, Inspire did a estimate for bollard lighting on that part of the trail, I think is what they looked at.
So if you're lighting, the pickleball and the baseball and the trail, are you also going to need to expand it and light the playground?
I thought about that, but can we do that underneath the canopy? Can you run lights under there and use the existing footers and columns in order to add a light fixture?
We'll have to look to see if we can use the existing footers.
How many playgrounds are lit that I know
I was
of?
gonna say.
Yeah.
Kids are,
I was just gonna say.
Typically, you would have an elevated light
How many
along the
playgrounds
path.
have you been to, does it, like at nighttime?
Say it again, Jennifer?
I was just gonna say, how many playgrounds have you been to at nighttime?
I don't go to playgrounds at night, my kids are too young.
Well-
My grandkids
well, but
my
when you're-
grandkids are too young, so we don't do
Right.
that.
So I think the question, Jennifer, is do you think there's a need or you think it would be used if
Yeah,
it's
so
at night?
as a parent, if I'm playing pickleball or basketball right there. and
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So I
Let
understand.
your dad do, you know.
Okay, so you're looking at it as like an outlet while they're playing pickleball, not, hey, I'm gonna take my kids to the playground at 8 o'clock at
Yeah,
night
like,
solely
if
just for the
it's gonna
playground.
be
Yeah, that makes
now, like, open at nighttime.
I'll give her that.
people
I
are
didn't-
bringing
Yeah, I didn't think about
That's not how I interpreted it. I just interpreted it like, oh, let's load up the car at 6 o'clock at night and let's go to the
Yeah,
playground.
that's,
My kids aren't gonna do that.
yeah,
But
I did,
if I'm there, instead of the kids running around like at a bowling alley, they're hanging out at the,
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
so-
MAC playground is lit because all the other stuff is lit and, you know, like,
Because the baseball is going on at night.
yeah, yeah.
but we don't have lights in the
We
basement.
don't- Yeah, there's no lighting on the baseball field.
No, but she's talking
That
about
wasn't-
at the Mac field.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
That's what she's saying. So that's why that's lit over there. So they utilize the lighting on
And
the
the
park
kids,
over
the
there
little kids
because
will
their
go
baseball.
play,
Yeah.
you know, while.
At the Mac field, not this one.
Full understanding of of the approach, and again, we'll work with the lighting manufacturers to create a photometric design to where we can light as much as possible for the best value.
Most of that lighting will be under the canopy,
Right.
so.
The lighting isn't the 45.
Possible solar option too, so you're not running all the conduits because of the concrete that's under it as well.
And just, cause I will forget, I don't know if there's any kind of security now
Oh, for the whole park itself?
Yeah, I don't know if that.
IT guys gonna handle that.
I think that's a
Yeah, that's gonna
separate
be handled internally.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
simple.
Question?
Hmm?
Sure. With the new park hours?
TBD. With the lighting, we're still discussing how we're gonna do that. My thoughts is to emulate at least a pickleball area to be like Claremont where there's lights shut off at 10 PM. But again, that's all TBD, still to be determined.
Okay. Yeah, because it's gonna raise thoughts of people coming and using the park in the evening. I'm not saying there's a problem, but I'm saying, if you're planning on putting up gates on that parking lot, who's responsible to close the gates at night?
The neighbors, guy that lives across the street said he'd do it.
I mean, don't get a key. Or you can make your own.
I can make my own.
Thanks,
Don't
Frank.
give out secrets.
Cut you that key.
All working.
And then the one thing I ask is for the pickleball area, so one thing, if you go to a lot of these other pickleball courts, I've been going to a lot, there's very little room for seating, right? So for those that are either waiting to play a game or they just wanna see games, or like there's a tournament that we could host, you know, right, there's no like bench seating. Now, I'm not asking for like stadium seating, right, but at least some sort of either, you know, tables or seating area where they can either put their stuff, in order to, you know, to play the games or whatnot. And then also, where would be the nearest water fountain? Because that's another issue, is that some parks don't have water features, not like water features, but actually drinking, you know, potable water. I think the nearest one is still quite a bits away, so we can add some sort of water hydration, I guess hydration station's a better way of putting it.
Hydration station.
Are the pavilions gonna complement the other pavilion? I know we made 10, the existing pavilions complement each other, so are we doing, these other two are gonna complement this one?
From the same size perspective?
No, just the same aesthetically.
Yeah, same aesthetic, that should, yes, 100%.
I have another question. The pavilion that you're putting by the playground, are you making it big enough? Because the pavilion close to the pickleball courts is already there, is big. Are you making it big enough to where we can get revenue, like if we reserve it, if they reserve it for birthday parties or something?
I don't think we've thought about reservations. I think that's more of an internal city thing. I mean, I'm all good for it. I love, you know,
Well,
revenue
even
streams to the city,
Like
so.
moms, if we're planning a birthday party, we prefer not to have to be there at 5 AM.
Sure.
Typically, the spot, just pay $60 or something. and
Right.
have it.
Yeah, I think it's more of an internal, I mean, again, I like that idea, but I think it's something that we could discuss, you know, as we start growing this department out. Council, public, any more questions on the active?
Are you, this is for you because I went to play. What park does the reservation for the pavilion that you're aware of? Because I'm telling you from experience, I know about the 5 o'clock sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
And
We,
doing,
we do that now.
yeah,
We do a special event permit, we put a sign out reserved for.
okay, for,
do that now.
for the big one in the back there?
Who enforces that?
Yeah, that was my next question,
I think,
because,
if someone's on there and they're not supposed to be and someone reserved it, even though the sign's there, they would call us and, you know, somebody would go out, the on-call person would go out there and throw them out. Yeah.
interesting.
But like Lake Idemere has several pavilions, so they're always booked for parties.
Yeah.
Cherry Lake Park just put the huge pavilion in, and they're sectioning it,
Right.
so you could do one party here, one party there.
And I'm just
in
speaking
Groveland.
from experience with the one by Sky Zone.
Oh, yeah, because, yeah, that
But-
one,
yeah.
yeah, you can't make reservations.
And,
for
and
that.
that's why I'm saying, I hear you loud and clear,
Yeah.
because I've been there at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
you know.
no, yeah.
So I think that
Or
that
like
is,
Hiawatha doesn't allow reservations, so if we do an
Right.
Easter picnic, we have to,
and again, that's internally, so
Yeah.
sorry guys, don't want to offend people,
but make it big enough and enticing to where you can, you know, not like just like two pavilions, not
Right.
two picnic tables.
What is the next, what is the next step?
I think the plan was to have the same size as the one that's out there.
I thought it was
Yeah.
comparable.
Yep.
thank you.
Any power to the pavilions?
I think that's the goal, is to run power, yes, to run power to the pavilions.
Yeah, and this is more of a question for Mark. On some of these places, we start running power out there, is there a way to put power on a timer? Because if not, you have the homeless people out of the trail coming there, 12 o'clock at night to charge their cell phones. So there's a point here where you've got to be able to cut power to things.
We'd probably keep locks on the outlets, and then the top lights would be on timers.
Okay, we've had that issue before.
I think they're gonna break those locks.
Exactly.
I think, Mark, we gotta get it at the main, you just have it run it to the main breaker and somewhere inside, and then you just cut the power.
You guys taking notes?
Taking notes.
There are timers for that as well. I know I belong to a pickleball complex with lights, and at 10 o'clock, you can't turn them back on.
Now, we're concerned about the electric on the.
The electric on the
pavilion.
pavilions.
So what happens is.
I'm assuming you could time it to that as well, right?
Right here, there's a large, we've had issues, we haven't had issues there in a while, it's been pretty cleaned up, but here's the large wooded area, and we've had a homeless issue there before, and they come down to the parks. Or late at night, kids, after the lights are down, will park their cars, go sit in the pavilion, charge their phone, smoke a little weed, do whatever kids do. Just trying to, hey,
Deter
we
that,
go there.
yeah.
I don't know who else needs to say.
What about thought of placement of trash receptacles where they're, sturdy? And the one thing that offends me most is when I'm in a park and I can't find a trash receptacle.
Don't have that problem at Disney, do you? Our policy is every 30 feet.
At
Well, let's
Disney.
do it. It's just a thought, because I don't see anything here near the
I
park
think that's
area.
more the details.
Yeah, I think that's more detailed, Cheryl. I think that's something we could discuss again internally.
Got it.
Yeah, we will.
I'm writing it down, got it.
I remember a big stadium was built and they forgot water fountains, so.
Yeah. But we had the issue when some of the stuff you don't realize, because I know when we built the skateboard park, we had to put a trash receptacle somewhere where people just put trash. It was at the top of one of the drops where we would leave and they would drink their drinks and just leave, and they were like, well, maybe if we put a can there.
They might throw it in the can.
Yeah.
No,
Might.
they didn't, but we now have a can there, and a big can trash next to it, but that's a different story.
Some of them probably did.
Sticking with the active, so switching over to the baseball, so we know where the clay is gonna be redone, is the grass area, so the outfield, is that also part of the scope in order to get redone? Yes? Okay, that's what I thought.
And while we're on that, I was actually gonna ask that question. What does, we went out today, and there was a flag football team practicing flag football, just outside of the baseball field. There's that open, plot. What is the utilization of that baseball and then the open space next to it?
Yeah, that's good. My goal would be to create a multi-use park in that area, a multi-use field, if you will, in that area that can be utilized for flag football, for baseball. We want to maximize the space that we can, with that. I think, Mark, once we do that, and again, we create this investment, we may have to turn this not into definitely not a pay-to-play, but at least a reservation, so that way we don't start having,
Yeah. In the past, we haven't done it in the last few years, but in the early years, when they would have organized sports out there, we would run them off unless everybody signed waivers and all that, because they're not just out there passively playing, they're out there pushing hard, chance for injury and all is much higher.
So you had,
But now they just go out there, cricket comes out there a lot, but we can't mark that field because it's in a wetland area. So we can't really come over there where they play cricket and everything, right?
are they still out there on Sundays? They are? Okay. Yeah, and the problem with the cricket is, it's kind of a hybrid cricket, because it's really not a full cricket field. It's where it's a place that it's the
They
best
have a
they
good old
got.
time out there, and then there's baseball.
Yeah, I'm
teams
just saying, they would
practice.
like to have something bigger, so if there's any way to, that's why I was really curious of when you look at this piece here, Eric, where is the wetlands and not, and can you make that a little bit more of a,
Because we've had that second ball field right behind that
I
current
remember
one,
that.
and the state made us pull it out.
So you had a ball field to the east of the
Correct.
existing.
Uh-huh.
They were side to side.
Yeah, so we have the clicker. I'll show you.
Depending on the time of year, you can still kind of see where
Yeah,
it was.
it's, so right over here, it was just a mirror image of this one. And then, like Mark said, the state made us take that all away. But you can still see the outline of it.
Do you play softball on that field too?
It's meant, so the MAC that we have, that was very controversial back in the day because it was a pay-to-play field. So understandably, you know, moms and dads didn't feel like they could just go out there and mess around with their kids. And so this is meant not for organized sports, but just for
Pickup games.
the dad to throw catch and play with the kids or whatever, you know. It's not meant for an organized event.
Or practice fallout, and they give, you know, fields in
Right.
use.
They do it,
Yeah.
but they're not really, that's not really meant for them.
We just had a NASA group of about 30 kids there launching rockets. Police showed up, they just sat there and watched it too, and they were all applauding. And a lot of parents, tent, all that, well done, well set up, and very organized. So it was very safe, but it is being used for multiple things, like football practice when there's an overflow problem.
Yeah, or the coach wants to get an edge and have an extra practice and try to win it too.
And when we do some fundraisers, we try to incorporate that ball field with a kind of sport for that fundraiser. So we've done.
Kickball,
We've done kickball,
relay.
we've done some really weird things on that, weird kickball events we've done.
You're just not gonna be able to develop it with markings and
Yeah.
just like an open field right
Yeah,
now.
our intent was to resod up to a certain square footage, put new clay in, adjust the heads, make sure the irrigation's running properly and getting the coverage it needs. We'd probably have to replace all the heads.
That's parking, so you're talking about the area to the east, right? So that's a parking area too, so we gotta be careful about irrigation heads, cause they're all gonna get busted when we have.
We're getting confused. They're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Where there's nothing.
Right, and I'm talking about the existing.
Right, right.
Over there, we're not. Yeah.
So I think there's a point in time when you look at this, Eric, we've done a lot of things out there, and I know we have a budget. I think we have to prioritize, like, do you just reseed inside the baseball field? The clay, I get, but is more of a revamp. Instead of sodding that, when you start trying to decide if you're sodding or lighting and stuff like that. So I think for your next one, you probably should have a list of like, this is what we can do, and like, this is, so there's things here that we want, and things are gonna fall off the list. And-
Sure.
And how do you maximize, I think you've always wanted to maximize, what can I get the most bang for your buck?
Yeah, I think that let's just come out with the wish list, right? And then
Yeah.
from there, then I can work with them, and we'll start, you know, chopping as far as what we can.
So you currently use the open space, which used to be a ball field. You currently use that or at larger celebrations as parking, as overflow parking?
That's what the city uses it for. Other groups go out there and use it for random.
Yes.
But again, if we're expanding the parking lot, right, and then we're gonna put in an ADA accessible sidewalk, there's gonna be very limited, access to it for parking. Like right now, it's open, right, but as we develop that parking lot further east, we're gonna put curbs in and sidewalks and there's some
It's not
landscaping.
near enough spaces. We packed that whole section over there.
So you still would want access to that open field for overflow parking?
That parking is not enough for some of our events, so.
So that's,
Yeah, so I think, again, going back to the priority, you know, if we look over here, this field, you know, the makeshift where we do parking, I would just leave that as is. Again, the cars are gonna rip right through it. I would prioritize obviously the clay, and I would say, you know, from this line down, all through here, right? So the active zone, this is where I would like to see, you know, new sod.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, I've always been very adamant for the lights on the trail, but I think we should you keep the project here and you don't take it up to the trail, and you're like, we'll just have to address the lights on the trail somewhere else. Just because I know that's a big chunk, and I would rather you spend the money here than up there, but we can.
but while we're doing the lighting, we can have the lighting companies do a conceptual plan.
Yeah, you can have them, you can look at it.
Yeah, I mean, in other words, that way you can.
We can see it, right, yeah. Again, I think my original idea of having that wish list, and then we can just see
Yeah.
what we can do, whether we want to push to phase 2 or whatnot.
How often do you use that for parking, that open space? Like what, is it twice a year, 4?
4 to 6 times a year.
Halloween?
Yeah, but they did the movie night thing there too, so. So yes, about 6 times a year, 4 to 6 times a year.
Yeah, so I would, just imagine a line, right, from here, straight down, anything that's on the active side, this is what I like to see again. Resawed, reclayed, just to have a nice area, right? This side we could keep as is, or we just wanna throw seed down, whatever we wanna do. Or nothing.
We'll just restore whatever we've disturbed,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Just resodding, because I imagine, and I have no idea, but I imagine you're doing the celebration in that little space. So,
We will, yeah, the celebration will happen
Right.
here,
right,
somewhere.
yeah,
In the middle of all that.
in the middle, like in between,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know, just if the sod would be fine with all the traction and stuff like that.
Sod sod's gonna get expensive really quick when you start sodding it. If
Yeah.
you can see, you can see.
Or what we can do is, we could resod after the event.
You're not gonna have vehicle traffic on the resodded area, just foot traffic, right?
We just put, yeah, probably in a
Vendors.
stage.
And, probably
stage.
blow up houses. I
Yeah, like
imagine.
bounce houses and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is that what the kids paid for
Quick
rollout, a
question.
hay sod?
Do you
was
want this
$10,000
complex turned
bucks.
over,
Didn't do a lot.
for
So you're looking at
the week before Thanksgiving?
$70,000.
When is the event?
I'm just
Oh,
saying,
for years.
I'm just saying.
October 31st.
October 31st?
Yeah, you're talking about how long.
Well, yeah, well, yeah, our centennial is, when do we have that, Christine?
December,
December.
I forget the date.
Yeah, but I was thinking, Mark, even for that, for Safety Night Out, depending on the schedule, we may have to move that to a different park for this year.
That's a question I've been saving, that's a logistics one.
That's a logistics question, not,
Do construction and have the park open, or is the park gonna be closed for a period of time? And is that gonna move certain events? And
Yeah.
Halloween was one of them,
yeah,
so.
I think that,
I don't see that in the project plan. Where are you shutting down? The playground area, the baseball field, certain areas gonna be open? Somebody's gotta think that all through.
yeah, no, and I thought about that as well, and that's something we gotta discuss, because I'm okay moving it, Mark, for this 1 year while we do this. We just have to find another location for it.
So,
We can do the 30-acre parcel in the hills, we can do it to the city-owned area that's on 27.
Don't have power and bathrooms, everything there.
We can do porta potties, I mean, we're gonna,
They had to get down the hill. I think part of it is something we can leverage.
We talked about that internally and just trying to see, you know,
are they gonna be
before we
open?
try to do that now, try to see how far along and what kind of progress y'all made.
what exactly happens at at this park on Halloween? Like, what's the, kind of talk us through
So,
parking, and then people walk the neighborhood, or is it?
no, all this is used, I don't think it's gonna be option to
This
do it,
whole
to be honest.
trail gets used.
Yeah.
A bunch of vendors come out, or like trunk or treat, kind of?
Yeah.
Same concept.
Yeah, and that is.
Helicopter lands, fire trucks, police,
Tractor.
Helicopters.
kids get redneck sledgehammers, cars, beat them up.
Fun stuff. I wanna be there.
Yeah, I really think we need to find a new location, or at least for this year for it.
Yeah, and over in this area, we have the helicopter and the fire trucks.
All right, we'll take that offline, but I think from a consensus on the council standpoint, are we okay moving that event to another location?
We would have to.
We would have to,
We would have to.
We would have to make sure that we're on the
Schedule.
schedule
Right.
for the summer.
So consensus, yes, we're okay moving it to a different, for this 1 year.
Yes.
So I think we trunk and drunk it.
So then this.
Truck and drive, I like.
It's in December.
December what? Because I think that's. We're not sure.
I think preliminary dates, Mark, for the centennial?
The first or second week of December, I don't remember exactly.
I think you partner with Christine and do a.
Christine will have it when she comes back.
I think we can definitely entertain that at a different meeting and
But I'm
a
just saying-
different aspect.
I'm just thinking there's.
Actually, I'm thinking there's a lot of different places that we can actually do it at. It's just a matter of, we need to just have a chat about it and.
And that's why.
Yeah,
I'm just
so-
saying that's
okay.
all, but I'm
All right,
just saying
so-
there are options on that, so
Yes,
don't let
most
that be a
definitely.
deal breaker, like, okay.
No, no, I
no.
understand. So I think it's yeah, the 5th. So consensus is, it'll be moved, so it's not a concern
Yeah.
for construction.
So with your centennial event, there's no issue with sod then?
Okay. All right, good.
And what is,
All right. Any other questions on the active area?
On that same topic, Are we allowed, is the whole park gonna shut down while we're doing our work?
I would think
For
it
the
would
summer?
have to.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Well, except for the dog park area. I mean, the dog park.
So you're gonna
doesn't
set
need to
down,
be
you're gonna
shut
set down the skateboard park for the summer?
I mean, we're gonna
Can y'all
have to.
develop a phasing, can y'all develop a phasing plan for us to review? And,
Or maybe put boards up around the skate park area, that way they can still access it.
Temporary fencing.
Or
Or
fencing,
temporary
the
fencing, I would say.
fencing.
We can look at things.
I think fencing, because for the skateboard park, because it is heavily utilized in the summer, if you fence just between the skateboard park and the basketball, and around, and they can access it just from up there, that you can just block all that off.
Yes, absolutely. I'm even, we'll talk about how with our phasing and scheduling, how the baseball field plays a factor, but we may even be able to section off the entire side. right?
Yeah,
And
I
then
just think you can't.
leave that open and then work our way out, right, when we open the.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so yes.
This will be the only active area left that we can maybe utilize, but because the goal is this is gonna be resurfaced, this is gonna be redone.
Yeah, I'm
this
just
is
saying
gonna
you
be
can fence
redone.
it off.
Yeah, you fence everything up. I'm saying that if the park's gonna be open, this will be the only thing that'll be open.
Yeah.
The actual field itself will obviously be closed, so.
y'all can do like MOT, but for the access to different areas, right, like MOT plan?
We'll put it together.
My concern is getting.
Provide the community as much access as possible under a safe manner. Got it.
Oh, so is your civil here?
Yeah. Yeah, we can put something together.
Or forget, our concept did not take into account expanding the stormwater pond. So we're gonna have to figure out where that's gonna go, because we're adding more impervious surface.
Yeah, that's
I
on
believe it did, yeah.
We've got the pond expansion.
They're extending the current pond.
That was a concept by planners,
Right.
make sure.
Yeah, we'll have to size it accordingly, yep.
Your question, audience?
Are you gonna have more than one restroom area out there?
That was, good question. Just saying, so I was gonna say that.
Yes, that's something that we've been discussing that we have to think about, but I think that's gonna be part of a separate project. That wasn't part of this.
It's not a part of this.
Yep, that was a separate project. But yes,
Can't
that's,
forget it, because it's an issue at the back door.
yes, yeah, that I know.
But can you, I'm just starting out there, when you start doing the events out there, we probably need to seriously think about if we're gonna do a pickleball tournament, something rolling in some,
Oh, 100%, we're gonna have to, yeah.
because we've really not done that, but I know in order to one at her wedding. and
Yeah.
They were pretty nice. You could do some.
If you do a true pickleball tournament style event there, then you're gonna have to roll in bathrooms for sure.
I'm just saying, for any event, if you do, you probably need to think about other ones.
Mhm.
And not like porta potties.
No, these are
It's
the
real,
the trailers that are,
The nice ones, the nice ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice ones that are AC'd and with actually running water. and-
Yeah.
And I believe that was done years ago.
they have
Over
them,
20 years ago.
they have them at, outdoor.
Yeah.
They do them outdoor, so they're pretty nice. Okay, I think it's good. I mean, I'm curious to know what we're gonna see in a month, we'll see a little bit more.
Sure, yeah. All right, the ground plane overlay, I know there's some questions on that, so. Do you guys kind of go over what is ground plane overlay?
I mean, that's just the name of the plan, just to show you the different uses of what the ground's gonna be. It just kind of gives you a different view, so you can see where there's gonna be
Okay,
asphalt.
different materials on,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Color coded.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the new parking lot's gonna be, asphalt like the existing, with the concrete pickleball with the proper surfacing, the gravel trail, and then the various landscape areas and various, ground cover for the playground.
When you go with the gravel trail, how does that work out to not have weeds grow up in or anything like that? How often is that gonna get serviced? Are you doing an underlay underneath it, or is it just a 2 or a 6 inch? You grade it out, or you just pouring gravel, and how's it working?
Well, I also believe we proposed an alternate to the gravel.
Yeah, there's a product called Organic Lock that we've used in golf course settings and even some YMCA facilities in Tampa, where you combine it with a, either like a paver base or asphalt millings, and it creates a pervious surface that is bound together. And so it'll be part of, basically you'll box out the trail, in other words, maybe 4 to 6 inches deep, do an underlayment of a filter fabric, as you say, for the weed protection, and then lay this product in, and through the compaction and wetting of the product, it basically binds it together. Although it's not a totally impervious surface, it does bind together. So we can propose that as do a test strip of that to see if you like it.
4.4035. Any questions on the overlay plan, council? Yeah.
That big oak tree that's by the pickleball, park, is that oak tree going into the pickleball courts at
No,
all?
pickleball court too.
I know, but I mean, like, that oak tree's huge.
When we're going through the design phase, we're gonna put placement, I mean, we've looked at it, we've talked about it, so as we place it, in the design, we'll see how it impacts it. The oak tree will not be touched. That was the first.
Oak tree.
Well, you don't want the leaves
Yeah, you
blowing
don't want it
on the courts
On
and
the
all that
court,
stuff.
so that, I was just thinking, it's pretty close, to me, from what I know of it there, it's pretty, like, I think it might be.
I mean,
This isn't to scale either, because it looks
Okay.
close on that, but
Gotcha.
walking it, you've got plenty of room
Okay.
to adjust and move it around. Those field adjustments, you can absolutely do.
Okay.
And just to add, it is important to realize this is conceptual design. So, as we get more site investigation information back, it may make sense to put it somewhere else.
Oh, I agree, I
yeah.
think it should be moved, but that's a source of contention.
Yep. Certainly.
Yeah, no oak trees will be removed. I think the only plants is like a sable palm.
I'm not worried about.
Yeah, her concern is like the oak trees.
I'm not a tree
like-
hugger, I'm just saying, I'm just saying I didn't want it over and messing up with the pickleball court
Right.
stuff, because that'll mess up the court. And
Acorns
beautiful
falling,
oak tree, but
damaging the
that's-
surfacing.
Exactly,
all of it.
that was my main concern.
I'm a tree hugger, so please protect the root.
No, again, and I was very serious. I think the oak tree would be protected, but I think there's like a group of sable palms there. That's a dime a dozen, so that will, I don't think nobody opposes getting rid of the palms. No? Okay.
When are you wanting to do groundbreaking on this?
Hold on, TBD, just not yet. We're gonna go on over that.
So,
We'll leave conceptual. The purple is classified as the gravel. Okay, that particular thing is gonna also be gravel, and the sand is gonna be in the back of this particular, gravel pit. It's not gonna be asphalt, that's what I'm saying.
This will be gravel, correct?
No, it's gravel.
Whatever pervious or impervious surface you put down, the purple represents the trail, that I can see in purple, and also that parking facility, the sand area. Correct?
Yes.
I don't care what goes in, I was just curious what it was.
Yep.
Oh, and my wife said that I should offer, she would, when you move the dirt pile there, our grandkids have moved it, Weed Mountain. Weed Mountain goes there, she will put on wildflowers and make it kind of smooth so it looks nice.
All right, any more questions on this before we move forward? Playground? We're good here when we discuss this?
Are we gonna discuss the equipment or?
I think they need to address what the equipment's gonna go in underneath
Yeah.
underneath the existing playground house. They need to reassess this. I think you're sending them a file.
Correct, I'm gonna send the original design, and I think that's in the next meeting, we'll discuss more in the details.
Details of the equipment.
Fitting under existing canopy, ADA accessible sensory stations, and a zip line.
This one?
I'm doing cheerleading
Okay, for the basketball courts, any, would it be possible, I think it would be cool to have the city seal in the middle? Is that something that's possible to do?
Moni?
It's possible.
It would be cool.
I don't know if you do a logo and then you have to like do it on top of it, because you can't just paint it.
You can stencil it.
Yeah.
Stencil it, that's what I thought.
Whatever.
All right, and then for the pickleball courts, so there's two options, I'm sure you guys have seen this before, where it's kind of open between all 6 courts, or it looks like at this one, I can see it, where you have like a 3-foot fence, that separates it. From the original designs you guys had in mind, which one were you guys thinking of?
We would originally, I mean, we would like to do the separation, right?
Right.
I think that's much more functional. We'll look at design. On this one, you can see there's canopies behind it, so seating area.
Yep, I do like that.
Shaded, seating area. So that, we're gonna look at the space and see what we can fit. Is 6 courts, 8 courts, what's the primary focus on the pickleball? Like,
6 courts.
I think it was 6 courts.
6 courts for now, yeah. And then with the idea of if it works out well, for phase 2, we'll be expanding it out. And then the original design also has the windscreens in the back and the front, correct?
Do we have the windscreen? I don't think we have the windscreen.
No?
We'll look at
Yeah,
look at the schedule values and
Okay.
check.
Question?
Yes.
We're talking about the basketball court, and so basketball and pickleball courts are gonna be lit at night. I'm good with that. My question is are they gonna be on timers, or the lights come on every single night and go off at 10?
No, they'll be on timers that go off at 10.
They go off at 10?
Off at 10.
Talk to them.
Yep, from sunset to 10.
So you're gonna have a city worker actually literally, it's gonna be to lock the bathrooms, shut the gates, the lights automatically go off.
The lights will go off at 10, correct, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, any questions here on pickleball or basketball? All right, back to you guys.
Hi, so this is a preliminary project schedule. Sean will be the construction manager. He built this schedule out. He's working on several regional parks, in Florida right now. So this schedule is based on, starting work that we can without permits, and, the back half of it that hinges on permits, is, I don't wanna say flexible, but, we are at the mercy of the permitting agencies, as it relates to this. So Sean, I'll kinda let you walk through your schedule and talk about some of the big ticket items and kind of the flow of what it's gonna look like.
Who's the permitting agency on this, can I ask?
So we'll have St. John's Water Management District.
Okay.
Lake County will have the last say on that connection to Highway 50.
That's fine.
And then I would assume just the building department with you guys for the pavilions.
Lake County.
We're just trying to figure out.
Lake County
Our
is
phone
easy.
choice.
St.
Yeah.
St. John's is gonna be tough.
So Fred mentioned there was gonna be no permitting through the city. Is that an accurate statement?
Say it again, I'm sorry?
Is Fred what was it called? Was it Fred Miller?
Fred? Yeah, Fred Miller, yep.
He said there's no permitting through the city. Is
Is
that,
that accurate, Mark?
No, we don't have a permit yet.
no, will there be any permitting required?
If you got a pavilion, you gotta permit, you gotta,
Yeah, so if it's for the city, there's no building permit fees, but we still have to pull the permit.
Yeah, you still have to review everything, yeah.
So there's no fees, but permits will be.
I'm sure the city, that will
Is
be the
that,
fastest.
is that just for the buildings? There's no like site permits? Like, do you guys need to review like the grading and everything for the
Oh,
pickleball?
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Gotta go through design review.
Okay, so maybe, all right, maybe we just misunderstood what Fred was trying to tell us.
Irrigation plan and all that.
Okay.
Be a good example for residents. That's right.
Well, yeah, it caught me by surprise when he said there was no permits for the city, so I wanted to.
I thought you meant, did we get permits already?
No, we were confirming with him what permits would be required through the city.
I think the city will be, of course, it'll be the easy, quote-unquote, easiest to get, right, from a timing. County's gonna be difficult, not that difficult, to be honest. We have some phone numbers in our Rolodex. St. John's is gonna be the biggest.
We have had the pre-application meeting with them and discussed the project. So we've got the ball rolling with them.
St. John, since you're on third, you're gonna dig out Martin's Lake or Martin's Swamp, whatever you wanna call it. What's the depth that you're planning on digging to, and you got permission yet?
TBD, we're evaluating that because of some issues that we may have encountered, so we'll have more info in the next meeting on that.
And we were actually looking for more information on what exactly the city does want us to do with that.
Yeah, we'll discuss that, because that may change a bit.
The path of least resistance.
Yeah, we may, yeah, we'll talk about that separate. Yeah, so like I said, county permitting, we have people in Rolodex for that. St. John's, that's gonna be, I mean,
Yeah,
nobody likes them, they don't like anybody, so.
accurate.
I just didn't wanna get a red tag park because of St. John's Water Management.
Right. No, well, seems like they have final authority more than the state at this point, but, yeah. we'll make
FERDAP
sure.
has to approve it too.
Who's that?
FERDAP with FDEP runs it.
So when do we expect, based on this, based on permitting, when's your estimated first shovel into ground?
So we're looking on getting out here right around like the end of March. We'll be able to start a lot of that easy work that we don't need the permits for. It's a lot of the stuff on that west side where we're just the playground, any refurbishments, no major excavations. All that's gonna be towards the summer when we're gonna have all the permitting, all the final designs done.
Okay.
Like that's when pickleball will happen, anything that I really need to push dirt and do any open excavations. But yeah, we don't have to worry about that for.
Are you doing a groundbreaking ceremony?
That's what I was gonna say, so the end of March, yeah, I would say maybe like the day or two before, just ceremonial.
So, that's what you want to do.
Yeah, if we can get, I mean, we'll talk about this detail, just get a backhoe for a picture.
Yeah. Y'all plan on doing any geotech samples?
Yeah, they were out last week, so we're just waiting on the report.
Which spots, the pickleball court and where else?
Yeah, we picked, yeah, we did parking lot, pickleball, we even had them do some testing in the lake. Yeah, so just like, I think it'd be like 7 or 8 locations around the park.
Can it be if the road potentially isn't approved?
Yeah, we'll discuss that, we wanna see what those costs are gonna be for the next meeting, and then we'll have a follow-up. I'll follow up with them, and we'll see what the options are, and then I'll let the public know.
So you have here final completion is October 1st of 2026, but we are safe to say that we are moving safely out. Thank you. I just wanted to make note of that on record, that even though it says that, you know what I'm saying, it might be complete, but we're still gonna be on board and we'll get someplace
This is
else.
still a very preliminary schedule as design gets finalized.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, I just think it's better,
Yes.
Permitting is the.
yeah, I think it's better, Pam, to move it.
This would be like, well, why are they moving
I'd
it?
rather move it
says
now.
this.
Correct, yes, that's what I was gonna say,
Hot
yeah.
spot.
Yep, Pam, I'd rather move it now, even if we get ahead of schedule, be like,
10-4.
great, awesome,
Oh,
you know, so.
absolutely, yeah, I agree, 100%.
Okay, awesome.
One more question?
Yes, sir.
Sorry to keep interrupting, and you guys ain't gonna like this question.
It's your last question, so make it good.
Your expiration date, if you go way past that, you are on the contract, is there a penalty or fine against them?
I think we do have contingency clause.
Sorry.
There's liquidated damages.
Yeah.
Okay, just curious.
Is that all right?
It's $1 a day.
So,
And we drop it in the bucket on the person right across the street.
Sarah?
So I have a question on the project plan. There's a category 1, design and engineering requires ERP approval. Design permit is in there and construction. And that goes all the way through the end of May to May 30th. So does that line up with your category 1 construction on line 17 then? Is that what that's showing? Because it doesn't line up on the project plan.
So
It's
essentially,
starting earlier by a week.
yeah. Sean, do you want to take
Yeah, there's a few items in these categories that do intertwine, and obviously, since we're gonna have to redo the schedule as we coordinate with the city to make sure everything flows neatly. But yeah, a bunch of these things are gonna kind of move around.
So you think by the next meeting, we'll have a little bit more of a finite schedule? Okay.
Yeah, and what you're looking at in category, 2, which is your 8 through 16 items, those are the, items that we're considering not, permit required.
Right.
So that's the delineation between category 2 and category 3 in the schedule.
So even though category 2 is category 2, that phase, that category will be done probably before category 1.
Started before.
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly.
Correct.
That's where I was getting confused, because I was linking category 1 to 2, and then I started looking at the dates and said, no, category 2 doesn't require permits. Got it. Okay, thank you.
Sure, we all know that 2 comes before 1 and after 10, so.
Hey, you know my background.
Yeah, I
Project
know.
management.
So can you, if our next meeting is in the end of
March.
Can we not get this the day of? This is fine, but get it like a week earlier so we can post some pictures or something on the Facebook page and
Yeah.
social media to try to draw people out. This is a final concept, here's a plan.
100%.
I just think we need to do something a little bit more.
Yep, 100%. We'll get the social media team involved, and we'll make sure they do a nice big post about it, and we'll get some nice pictures on it, some renderings. I'm sure you guys can provide some in order to.
Yeah, I'm
put
just
it up.
saying, just
Spruce it up.
sizzle.
Yeah.
To that point, Mayor, one of the things that I was gonna bring up at our next city council meeting is this, other than being on the Facebook page, this hasn't been on any of our social media. What happened to our social media company? This should be blasting all over. Every neighborhood should be happy that this is happening for us.
It was I saw it posted on one of the stories on Facebook.
Yeah, I've seen it posted in a couple places.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah, I did
Just
see it was
people just-
posted.
People don't like to show up, they just like to complain, I guess. I don't.
I mean, there's only so much we can do, Cheryl. I mean, we can't, force people to come here.
No, but
I think,
talk it up,
I think they should like post it to all the Facebook.
and maybe flyers at some of the local businesses, I don't know.
Well, remember, they're not responsible for sharing the post in other groups. They just manage our page. Now, we can share it, but they're not gonna go to other pages. That's not part of the agreement. No social media company will ever go deep into that.
Well, then how do they engage?
They engage organically, or we could do paid ads. That's I mean, we're taking this way off topic here, right? In the
No,
parks,
but maybe a post in South Lake Tablet even. I mean, Claremont's always in South Lake Tablet. Let's get some influence there.
Yeah, there's some, we'll take it offline. I'll talk to
Okay.
we'll talk about it.
The, the purple in between the two houses, that's not parking, right? That's just,
That's parking.
No, it's the sand, it's the sandbag.
This right here?
Yeah, that's gonna be
The sand
supplies.
white lines were.
I thought the white lines were also.
Those white lines would be like cinder block divider walls so it's all your supplies for your park, and like, there's sand and mulch and
They're, yeah, bunkers.
your aggregate bays.
There's like are cars gonna go only allowed in there when they're bagging? Any cars allowed?
Those would just be city vehicles.
Yeah, so your extra clay, your extra gravel, so you'd have a bunker of gravel, a bunker of clay, a bunker of mulch.
Something like that.
Yeah, so this would be like, if we have the hurricanes where we need to get sand, that'd be a nice drive-through of cars coming in, so
I thought it was parking too, and I
Yeah.
was like, you know what, I'll just.
It's been shown as both. I think we'd lean more towards parking needs more than storage.
More than
materials.
short, okay.
Work that out when we meet the staff next.
Yeah, but if they're gonna are they gonna park there at nighttime and flash in that person's window?
I'd have a problem with people parking there at night, because they have to deal with me, that's right next to my bedroom.
So I think what we could do is maybe close that one off at night and then use the main parking for night. I think that'll be better. Again, in pickleball, you're not gonna get, what's the capacity on the red parking lot? Give or take, high level? How many cars?
So 45s,
45 spots?
that's what it says.
Additional things?
Parking expansion, 45.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, so that's
that'd be the
45.
addition.
In addition to what we currently have, so that's gonna be a total of 65, I wanna say, spots, give or take? Mark, what's the exerting capacity for those, for the parking?
I don't remember the number off. I don't see it listed here.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have more than 65 cars there at night, you know, to play pickleball, so I think we're gonna be fine closing that. Now, I think during the day, if we have a tournament, then that'll be used during the day, but at night, you know, there's no pickleball tournaments at night, so we're fine. Cool. Any other questions? During the day only? Yeah, no, not at night.
Yeah, can I make some assumptions? Thanks, puppy. There's no provisions for first aid on site, is that correct?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Yeah. There's no provisions for a sound system on site either? There's no provisions for integration of the Hy-Vee station into the park? It's going to pretty much stay the way it is, right? So people coming down the trail that all of a sudden happen to see this big, beautiful park won't know what it is or why it's there or whether they can go in there or not. And if they went in there, they would have no place to stop and rest or anything like that. So we just want them to go by. That's my assumption.
There is a path that goes from Ed Harvey down to this.
Yeah, I know, but a path is not integration of the Hy-Vee station into the park. I'm talking about coming along the trail and somebody riding along says, wow, where did that come from?
So you want a trailhead going?
Billboards.
There's a proposed new
Making an
sign.
assumption. I'm not asking for anything, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I'm just making assumptions. I'm assuming there's no provisions for maintenance on site. Everything will be trucked in. Lawn mowers and everything has to come from someplace else, and people working there, you know. The MAC has maintenance facilities, but this park won't have any. You mentioned, sir, the question of the entrance off Highway 50. That's still under consideration. It's not shown on here. I'm not sure where you'd show it, but
It's on the site
if that
plan.
doesn't happen, then the entrance to the area will be down Madison Street, is that correct? And we're not talking about any enhancements to Madison Street, sidewalks, streetlights, or anything like that?
I think there's sidewalks there already, isn't there?
We poured some from those houses down.
Yeah, there's some there, but it's, I wouldn't call it an overall
Not like the
development
state
plan,
plan.
no. And I don't know how you feel about that, Doug, but
I'm always on the same page with you most time anyways.
it'd be nice if we were able to accomplish that entrance off of 50. We bought a piece of land hoping to do that, and if that land stays there and we don't use it for an entrance, what do we do with it? I mean, just,
Utilize it for parking.
we could expand the parking into there or something like
Yeah,
that.
so the site plan currently shows it as parking with the extension under the Highway 50.
Yeah.
If we can't tie into Highway 50, we'd still be able to use that area for parking.
The idea originally was for entry into Madison and then exit out to the,
That's actually when we were out at the site today, we were kind of discussing that.
that was the intent.
Is that a,
So exit only on that
so
one.
who's the sign off on that? Is that the county or the state?
Lake County
Okay, so
driveway permit.
who is the driveway permit? God grants that, ever coveted with? Who's the person that grants the wish?
It's their engineering department over there. It's Jeff Earhart's group. Seth and all them.
And we've been in contact with someone, he's looking up the name right now.
Well, while you're looking at that, and my last thing is not an assumption, it's an opinion. When I look at the playground, I see a physical activity, but I don't see a lot of entertainment there. We have, in the past, seen plans where there was a lot of entertainment, we've gone from a lot of entertainment to, which I don't have any comment on, to a lot of physical activity.
Can you elaborate on entertainment? You're talking about like
Well, there was,
wheels?
there was like like a little town center. Jennifer could probably explain it better than I can.
Oh,
The entertainment section that they had in that,
the little city, little town, the miniature.
where the kids could ride their little scooters around and entertain themselves. And-
I think we discussed that would be part of phase 2, once we get through this.
Okay, well, that's future consideration then, I guess. And that's it. Other than that, I think it's going along pretty good.
When, in talking to Game Time, it seems like they've been in conversations with the city for a few years now. As far
Yeah,
as-
Jennifer was the head of the park. She did a lot of great work in getting this done, so, yeah, they are.
So they have a history.
Yes. Yes. This is the same design, right, Jennifer? Should be the.
It's not the exact same design because Roy said that he was given a smaller.
Smaller footprint?
Well, yeah, smaller
Okay.
footprint. And I don't know if that was intentional, or that's why I said maybe we could just show them the original.
Okay.
Because it just seems like I don't think it was intentional, I think it was a purpose.
Okay, yeah, I'll follow up on that. Okay. Council, any other questions? I think we're good. Public? No problem.
Dealing with the county itself about opening up access on 50. Is that, I'm sure it's already been discussed a long time ago.
You can always rediscuss it.
Should be no big deal.
There was a parsonage there before, and there's a driveway there, but not for that amount of traffic. You know, I think we'll get pretty close to the apex of the curve for sight distance. I think it can be done, you know. May not be exactly perfect, but in the engineering world, I think it's good enough.
I think if you're willing to consider an exit only, there's a better shot
That was the
than having a full access. And the exit only, would you be okay? I guess it's kind of southeasterly, that right turn movement versus a left turn movement as well.
Right turn only.
I'm sorry?
We have to look at that.
The red light was going in. Go stop sign up, just right
Yeah,
turn.
yeah.
How would the public know like, how would I know it's an exit only if I'm driving there?
Do not answer.
Signage.
Yeah, we have to add some.
Signage on the road and signs.
And it would be designed such that the movement into it, it's gonna be very hard.
But if you're gonna try, Jennifer, let me know so I can take pictures.
I
Yeah.
don't follow, the sign by Publix going that left.
The big dream
You're gonna
is
get
to
a-
have the
you're gonna
road
get a
go out
ticket.
behind the church and then out that way, and then you can
Right.
have an entry and exit there.
Right,
But the wetlands might be in the way
This is
on that.
recorded too, Jennifer.
But,
hopefully not.
you know, talking about, you go behind the church all the way out.
And you got St. John's involved.
That's kind of just taking Madison straight out.
That would be the ultimate.
But wasn't that originally part of the plan, and then President said no, and that's why you had to buy back parking?
No, I don't think that happened like that.
They looked at it before, and I think,
Yeah, we got shut down because they wouldn't let it go across the wetlands without a major build to put it there. It was major work has to be done.
yeah.
I think we're good.
All right.
I have another quick question.
Yes.
Whenever, because Joe reminded me, that hill, people do, the bikers do come, cyclists do come down that hill to use the restroom, and they're going like 80 miles per hour, and the kids are there, and I've had to yell at them to slow down. What can we do to tell them to slow down?
What hill?
Well, they have brakes. Yeah, I mean, there should be like this, no, not on the trail, like when they're coming in.
The e-bikes are even coming down even faster.
Yeah, well, they're gonna run over a kid and then there's gonna be a problem.
That's a whole other,
And they can do like, little, speed bumps things, I call it the little, you know. Yeah, the ones that are like.
Throw a speed hump and then it's bucked off.
Yeah, the
No, there's no wind.
Yeah.
more effective approach is to build like an S.
Hopefully
So
that
you
have to
build
slow down.
fields, but then how far out can you go?
Like, take it.
So Rick,
Yeah, so I think we're good talking like down through here.
Yeah, that, right.
All this, none of this?
it's done.
None of this? You're planning on doing?
Site plan goes.
Site plan down.
Final site plan, but not specific. Alright, any other comments? Can I get a motion to, any other questions in the public?
One more, verification, March 24th.
March 24th. March 24th. Any other questions, one last time?
Yes.
Everybody go. Yeah.
One last pass, I make a motion to end?
Motion not adjourned.
Wait, sorry guys.
One more, I actually don't know who any of these people are. Is there a business company name?
Yeah, we introduced them, it's SCG Fields, but
They're
it's
all
on,
on, they're on,
They are on here. I just
Yes.
glasses in, so that was an ignorant question. I apologize.
Not at all.
make a motion to end the meeting?
Motion adjourned.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
We'll give you a